Hey Adi.
Hi Nihal.
So, what are we talking about today?
I have come fully prepared for this.
And I have not. I put 20% effort and 80% sleep.
That is going to work well for me because I will get like live reactions of it. Yes.
So, today's podcast, we are talking about tech over time and probably how the tech evolved in India and how tech evolved here in US and whatever comes in between, both temporal and spatial data. So,
And our experiences with it, right?
yes, yes.
And how we got introduced to technology and how we saw everything.
Yep, yep. Ooh, I'm super excited. Let's see.
Yes.
Well, I'm more excited for something. I don't know. You told there is some surprise. Let's see.
Okay, we'll start with one since we're talking about technology, and of course now computer is a very common term, right? But when the term was coined, of course it had the direct like something that computes stuff. That was one part, but it also acted as an interesting acronym. It has a full form. If I don't know if you know.
What?
So that is one of the first things that my first ever teacher taught me. I still vividly remember the first page, the first thing that she wrote was the word computer and its expansion. So, what is the expansion of computer?
Uh, hmm. Give me one clue. No, like one random one. You tell me.
It talks about what it is used for, all of that.
Interesting. So computation, operation, tech.
The word computation, it's not. What's the point, man? Come on.
Machine which computes things. Computer. No. Calculator. Device used to see cat videos. Cat.
It has evolved to being the device used to see cat videos, but it had a very specific and a very interesting purpose.
Interesting.
Uh,
I am blanking. I don't know.
okay, so it
Like it.
is common operating machine, particularly used for technological and educational research.
Interesting.
So, common
Oh.
C operating machine COM, particularly used PU, used for technological and educational research. That is what the computers were invented for, and all of the punch card systems that we all have heard about
Mhm.
was used for all of this, right? Research, um, doing complex mathematics over hours and days, things that simple calculators could not do, stuff like that, right?
Yes, yes, yes. That now it makes sense. But it's interesting how we are taken it so much for granted. Actually, even now, if I think about it, like computers, that word is like almost gone. I don't think people use that term at all. It'll be laptop or
Right.
smartphone. So, because, like you said, it was used for the research and educational purposes. Now it's no longer, it's either multimedia and now deep learning for some reason. But
Which is
no,
still computation.
it's still computation. But no, that's our probably most of them know it as like some magic tool which you just like press OK and just magic happens. Now that I'm thinking about it, if you go even more back in time, right? Like what was our first computer? I don't know. For me, it's like from my top of my head, I'm thinking like abacus. Abacus is also some mechanical form of a computer, right? Like
Hmm.
calculating something. But like you said, if it's a computer as per like the abbreviation you gave, that doesn't fall into it. No, maybe research purposes, educational. What he is 1 plus 1 is equal to 2.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. That's an interesting question. Like, how far back? What was the first non-computer computer that was invented? We should probably look it up and share with everybody.
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
I
do
didn't
that.
go that much far back. I just went
Okay. Too far back.
few decades back. So,
So where are we starting? Which year?
1990s when computers started becoming mainstream, uh, started appearing in more and more homes over time. India was behind, but US was far ahead with Apple and Microsoft starting to do stuff. It was becoming more common. Like school curriculum started having it much sooner than we did in India. I don't know. That brings up a good question, right? When was the first time you had like computer science in school or something?
Yeah, that's probably like fifth grade or something like that, fifth or sixth,
Right.
which is kind of late, right? If you
Yeah.
think. But I was fortunate enough because of my grandfather who was working for research and educational purposes. He had like that mainframe kind of computer which ran DOS and
Mhm.
could only do chemical analysis and like probably had billiards on it. And Dave used to run and run on floppy. Yeah, but you're right. Like fifth grade is quite late in the curriculum, and people were not interested in it. That's one thing I noticed. How was the experience for you?
Yes. So the first time I started interacting with the computer was, I said, right, like my first teacher who taught me about things. Like they
Mhm.
had a computer at their place. We still didn't have one. That's how my parents made me like go to their place, learn computer science. And the first things I learned was Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, which interestingly, one of the few tools that I still use. It is there in everybody's life, everywhere, for whatever we all do. Considering data is the biggest thing right now as well. Um, so I was introduced to computers even before schools had it. Basic stuff, right? Like maybe paint or something like that. Just letting people interact with a computer. That was the goal back then. And as I got into like higher this thing, then HTML came in. Visual Basic. I really remember private sub, public sub, all of that from Visual Basic. That's how it started rolling for me.
You just mentioned like Word and Excel and things like that, right? Yeah, awakened these memories for me. I remember having exam on it. It's like, how do you change the font? And then you had to write a 10-mark answer on how to change a font. I might be exaggerating on the question, but it was like Word question and Excel question. I think we should like put a small image of like how Excel and Word used to look when we
Yeah,
so
yeah.
different and it is not so powerful as what it was today, but yeah.
I remember having like paint on all exams as well. Like
Yeah.
drawing on paint and doing stuff. Paint is one of the software that has stuck around, right? I
Yeah.
still use Paint even now. As recent as probably last week, I have used Paint.
It's become Paint 3D or something like that.
Yes, Paint has evolved like after a very long time, right? Like I think
Very
2 years ago with Windows 11, they upgraded Paint as well. Since we are talking about all Microsoft products, I wanted to mention there used to be Easter eggs and hidden games inside Microsoft products. There are so many more of them
yes.
apparently. Uh,
That was the time for like Easter eggs and a lot of Easter eggs. Uh, the one I remember was like that snowboarding game. Now it comes up when you don't have internet on Edge.
mm.
So there was this one Easter egg where after some time you get eaten by a monster if you don't do it right.
Right. Microsoft found just sneaky ways of hiding humans.txt, right? The people who worked on the products, the credits basically. So they used to hide it in Easter eggs. There were a few steps and hops to go through, but it would open up either like a spaceship game or the one that you are mentioning that includes people's names as the screen scrolls, and those names are actually people who worked on the product. I found out that this became a like a privacy compliance issue, and that's why they had to remove the Easter eggs.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. That time, like, there was no that many regulations.
Mm.
So things were, I think, more fun. I get it, like rules, I removes the fun out of it. So this was like when? This was like Windows 98, 95. I'm very curious to know which was the one which you know about and
So I actually have it open.
okay.
Um, I wasn't exactly able to pinpoint which one I knew about, but I do remember one of these that are there. So in Windows 2000, if you just type equal to rand within brackets 2000 comma 99 and press enter, it will open up the credit screen, it seems.
Ah.
And then in Word 97, you have to type like blue and then say equal to rand 10 comma 10, and then press Control Shift and click the Windows icon. Sorry,
My
Word
God.
icon. It would open up pinball game.
Oh, I remember this one. So
Yeah.
pinball game popped up little bit later in the Windows ecosystem where you had like these things which you had to press space and alt or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not know it was able to open it through like a Easter egg. That was interesting. Ooh.
Yeah, so these are the ones I found. So there is Excel 97 and 2000. Those two are games but has credits in it.
Hall of the Dead.
Yeah,
Oh,
and look at the first one. It's Hall of the Tortured Souls, and it's a 3D game.
interesting. Probably
Yeah,
venting out their frustration.
yeah, and looks like there was a Star Wars this one as well. Like that was inside Access. There was a Star Wars game.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't remember ever using Access in order to be able to do this.
No, Access 2000. I also did not use. So Windows 2000, Windows Millennium, something or the other,
Yes.
Windows. All of this I just skipped. It was just Windows 2000, 1998 and then XP, I think, for me.
Yeah, 95, 98, and XP. That's the order I remember as well. I knew 2000 existed, but I don't remember using it at all. So 95, 98, XP, then skip Vista, 10, 11, and then 12 coming
Yeah.
up soon. Uh, yeah. Did we go from XP to 11 directly? Sorry, 10
No,
directly?
from XP we went to Windows 7, Vista
Oh,
7.
10! Oh, yeah, Windows 7 and
So
Windows 8.
Windows
Yeah.
7 had a tablet thing. They were like they thought world is going to become full tablets, which is true. I don't know why they gave up,
Mm.
but it is their vision was right, but execution probably was very bad. And then they were like, no, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no, let's do Windows 10, and now we're at 11,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Okay, let's move on. What's your first interaction with internet? Like, how did you start
It
using it?
was a very, 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 very painful process, and you needed like a phone connection, and then you had to sacrifice human sacrifice, goat sacrifice, blood circles, sweat, blood, yours also. Everything later, you will get like a measly 32 kbps of internet speed, and my experience was that, and it was dial-up connection. Okay, not many people know, but that horrible sound which is like brings nightmare and tears for me. We should just put it up for some time for people to hear it. It's like the tee dee tee dee tee tee. What about you?
Dial up, of course. Like India, I think started with only dial ups. We had dial up for a very long time before broadband happened. But my first interaction with internet, right, was in the same like class that I was talking about before. My teacher had to like pull wires from one corner of the house to the other corner, the telephone wires, right, and try to plug it into a modem and make things work. I even still remember she had told me to like come prepared if we have to go to an internet cafe in case things did not work at home. And like you were mentioning, like it's based on telephone lines, and we had to do all of the gimmicks to make it work. and it only lasted until we got a phone call. If somebody called you, you will lose internet, right? Right.
That's it. You were downloading BitTorrent, I don't know what, but that's gone. Say goodbye. And it was just 32 kbps at first, and then they have bumped it to 56, I think. I don't remember it properly,
Mhm.
but internet used to load at the same speed as your thought. Like, it'll go like you're like as you read, you can read sentence by sentence as it loads. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And calling, video calling, all of that during that time was like nearly impossible. Oh, that reminds me. What were the first like chat apps that you used?
Oh, I actually uh, started with AOL, but I remember America Online AOL, and then I went to Yahoo Chat.
Yes, Yahoo Messenger.
Yes, Yahoo Chat, Yahoo emails. Anytime you want to message a friend, it was Yahoo because do you remember how much messages used to cost?
Oh
That
yeah,
was very expensive.
yeah. I remember having group chats on Yahoo. Orkut was the first social network that I
Oh yes,
used.
I think Orkut was like in my high school. Everyone wanted to get into
Mm,
it, and then they were sending so many friend requests, and then there was back and forth of some poke or something. Was I think Facebook, but Orkut.
no, that was Yahoo Messenger.
Ah.
Yahoo Messenger had a poke. Yeah.
Yes. Oh yes.
But group chats, group emails,
Yes.
forwards, all of that was a thing on email, like not message forwards, but email forwards was a thing.
Oh, don't forget those emails. If you didn't forward, you would probably die by a bus or something like that. I don't. Some
Yes,
asteroid would fall on you if you don't forward this to 50 people.
yes,
Yama will come
yes.
and take you away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, such things, I mean, brings back a lot of memories. And we used to have group calls also that time, like Skype, and Yahoo Messenger also had a lot of group
Yes,
calls.
yes. That's the only time you
And
got like some kind of digital call was either Yahoo or
right.
Skype. And Skype
Mm.
was not as easy. I don't know if you remember, it was not as easy. You had to call that person and then
Mm.
ask him to log in, turn on his computer,
Yes,
and then you'll be
yes.
like, then it connects, then it dials, it rings. Oh, yes.
Interesting how you said turn on the computer, right? Like that was a thing back then. Like were periodically turned off, usually at the end of the day,
Yes.
and people had to turn it back on when like, they're like back from school and whatnot. I used to have these horizontal CPU computers that has floppy disk, floppy drive, and CD drive.
Oh.
uh,
So that was in my school.
yeah.
When during that time, my computer came with a CD drive. Okay, for the first time
Mm.
ever, like there was a CD drive. It was not read only. Now, so I go to school and I say, "Hey, look, I got a new computer," and it was like a celebratory thing where people used to come and see it. And
Yes.
one thing they couldn't register it is like CDs contain data, right? This was
Mm.
something which was witchcraft for them, like how deep learning is now for a lot of people. That I'm putting data into these disks, which are very shiny. You were like, no. And then one guy had a full blown out argument with me saying, like, there's no possibility that data can go into a CD, only music. He did not know he was contradicting his own thing, but it was a very interesting argument. And I'm like, no, you can put games. He's like, no, you can only put music because that time it was only music and video CDs, right? VCD.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So during that time, since we're talking about computers in school and all, I just wanted to ask if you had this experience as well. So, what is one shortcut that people used to trick their friends to using and fool them into this?
Hard F4.
Alt F4 was like very what to say, surprising for some people if you don't understand what's going on. It basically shuts down whatever is on screen, right? It's like pulling the plug out for that app. Because I mean that comes with different times of introduction of technology, right? Because India was catching up slowly but steadily. So some of us had computers sooner than others. So we could interact with this thing more often than not and make fun of others, play with others who have not been introduced to it yet. During this time, what were some like projects that you did? Initial, what to say, course, class stuff that you remember?
So I was, as all kids, the first thing I latched onto is games. So I was kind of interested in 3D worlds and like building 3D. Actually, you know what? Even I do it still now, but uh, like I was interested in like 3D games and like NFS was a thing. So I was like, I want to build something of my own. I mean, it was a very, very ambitious thing. So we had a class for OpenGL, I think OpenGL or something like that. It was a C based course, and one of the projects they said is like, here it's an open ended project, just get something done, right? So while everyone was drawing in 2D, it was an that time 2D was still a thing, and side-scrolling games were still a thing, like Mortal Kombat and stuff. What's that, Commando and things like that. I wanted to do something in 3D, and I was very interested in space. So what I wanted to do is of a solar system, and I wanted like a spaceship that flies in the solar system. So I had like a sun which was 3D, and then I had like moon, the earth, and then I was like finding out the distance and then like trying to get them into like the ratio. And then you could use like WSAD and then another key to like do
Wow.
axis, pitch, and yaw. It was super fun. It's a very simple thing, but it's like just moving in 3D space, changing this thing, rotations, and some CAD information I got from my CAD classes. That was my first one. That time computers cannot handle this level of 3D. It was so slow. It was doing 2 frames per second.
All you had to do was get through Viva, and
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
matter whether it worked
We
or not.
fooled our teachers. That's what we achieved from there. We learned how to scam our. We didn't learn any. I don't even remember the name, but we. What I learned from that is like how to scam your teacher into giving you marks. Yeah.
I hope your teacher does not see this and like come after you.
Oh, she changes my marks. Okay, give back
Yeah,
your degree certificate.
we'll create a
I
new
know, great.
timeline. Parallel universe.
What about you? What projects did you work in your high school?
Something similar, right? Like not the 3D stuff. I mean, you seem to have done very crazy, like super creative things, but I did not work on any games as such. But the first project that I remember doing is a Flash video. Uh,
Okay, when you mean Flash, are you talking about Adobe Flash?
yes.
Oh, Apple killed
And
it.
then you can set, it used to come in frames as well, and you can set a starting frame and an ending frame, and the ball used to like automatically move, and that was like very fancy. Oh my god, how is this happening? Uh, that was like fun stuff. That was, I think, one of our subjects in school as
Hmm.
well. One of like so we used to have semesters, right? Each semester we will have a different what to say product that we take. That will be the curriculum for that semester. We'll go into like all things that product for that like class. So Adobe Flash was one of the things, and but the biggest project that I remember from school is my 12th standard project, which was to simulate online IPL auction that connected like five different computers, It used Java and SQL. It used to interact between computers, and all of this was happening. We didn't know anything about like whatever real time, all of that, right? We had to mimic the whole thing by saying um, this will be the primary system, and then we'll just remotely access this database from all other computers, and then write data to the same place and read from there. And set a refresh timer so that it just
Oh.
automatically opens.
Yep.
We had to give instructions to our like lab team saying you have to turn on this computer only first, otherwise the IP will change and our project will stop working.
It's interesting that all of this we did, now it is like so easy. It's just a command away.
Yeah,
In fact, now with ChatGPT, it's
right.
like less than a command away. It's just a word away.
Yeah, I actually wanted to talk about it towards the end, but since you brought it up, as I was going through all of this like trivia and stuff, right? I was just like getting information from ChatGPT, looking up other places as well, and ChatGPT was like, "Oh, do you want me to create a slide about this?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead, do
Hmm.
it." And I just said, "Create a PPT," and it just gave me a PowerPoint slide, like PowerPoint file that has, of course, it was not like formatted or anything like that. I mean, apparently you can give detailed instructions and it can do it, but it was able to run code itself and then give an
Yes.
output based on the prompt, and that was like extremely interesting. This is the first time I've done it. Um,
Yes.
um,
That's what,
yeah.
like Chat GPT, right? I want to go a little back, right? The starting of how Chat GPT happened. I'm not talking about AI, right? I'm going even before AI, before bots, like how AOL was there, right? We had chat and
Mm.
or we actually had another human on the other side.
Anything else from the school time that you want to share?
I have some things that I have put a small presentation about, and I want you to try to guess what these products are. Okay.
Okay.
Have you seen this product before?
Is it a CD drive?
It is not a CD drive. This is one of the products that was leapfrogged from India. We went directly to CDs and then
Oh.
DVDs. It's a zip drive. It is the successor to a floppy drive. This is the thing where you put it in.
Oh.
So it was much thicker, bigger, and I think it could do like 200 MB or something like that versus 1.4 MB. All right, I'm going to the
Wow.
next one.
Okay.
This is a mini disc. The mini disc was created by Sony, as you can see. It's a Sony product,
Mm-hmm.
and it was an optomagnetic disc. So it did both of
Mm.
them, and scratch protection, whatever. Interestingly, it was just discontinued this year. So 2025, it was discontinued. It was being used a lot because had amazing audio quality. It was one of the best audio qualities for the digital format, and
Oh.
producers and music producers were using this to share music. Obviously, now
Interesting.
USBs have done much better job, but
Okay.
USB. So this and this is very small. It's not as big as you can see. It's just probably
Mm-hmm.
only this big.
Mm.
I've seen it only once in my life, and that's it. But this was
I have never seen this. This is news to me.
yeah. So you just insert it as is. It says insert
Okay.
this end or whatever,
Okay.
right?
So this is similar to a tape recorder cassette then.
Yes, it's similar to a tape recorder cassette, but it's a disc
Okay.
instead. Yeah,
Okay.
but it's very thin also, right? Because it's a small disc.
Ooh, okay. Wow. Uh-huh.
So one of the things that was skipped in India was game consoles. We went
Mm.
from being a duck shooting game, like the Mario 8-bit games, directly to
Mm-hmm.
like really advanced games. But in between, there was state-of-the-art gaming machines which were there in US. But in India, we just skipped it altogether. Someone who was like super wealthy at that time could afford it, but average person couldn't. So I'll start with easy game consoles. I'm pretty sure you have seen the starting ones, but I'll go to a much difficult ones later on.
Okay.
So, can you guess which one this is?
Oh, that's a PS from the joystick
Yeah,
I can find.
joystick. Yeah, so it's a PS2, right?
Okay.
And this one,
That's Xbox. Okay.
but which Xbox?
Uh, The one before
But
360?
have you seen this Xbox before? Is the question.
Yes, I have seen this Xbox, but not in India. Sometime in office, like they had like a game night or something, and then people brought their consoles, and they had something like this. I have
Yes.
not seen this in India, and you're right. Yeah.
So this Xbox was around the time we were in high school. So that's
Mm.
when it came up. All right. It didn't have wireless controllers. It was fully wired,
Right.
as you can see there. Next one. Have you seen this before?
Oh, is this the GameCube?
Yes, it's a GameCube.
Okay. I guessed it from the shape, but I've heard about it, but I've never like used or seen one
A lot
before.
of my friends here in US still have that thing, as well as if you have
Oh.
the Nintendo Wii, it was also a GameCube, so you could use GameCube games on them. Some of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
My cousins had joystick games in the sense there is a machine and a joystick on it, and that's a game. It just comes with one game. You plug it into the TV and you can start playing. Uh, yeah, it looks similar, but the joystick is of course disconnected from the machine itself.
Right. This is also all wired, right? So this is all like high school
Mm.
times. Amazing programmers who used to write games in assembly, which was just mind blowing at
Yeah.
that time, right? So next one is, let's see, this one.
I remember seeing this. Yes, I think one of my friends had it back in the day. I remember seeing the shape of the console, but not the joystick. I think joystick was different, at least in the one that he had. But yes, I've seen this with like large discs that you put in.
Yes.
Yeah. What is
That
this though?
that I think what you're talking about is the PS1, the first
Okay.
version.
Okay.
This is the Sega.
Oh,
I forgot the actual model, but it's the Sega.
interesting. Okay.
And this next one,
Yes, I have played games in this. Not the same thing, but this cassette
cassette tape.
impression game,
So,
right?
so this was in 1990.
Nintendo. Isn't this Nintendo?
Yes, it's Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's a Nintendo 64. It's first time when Nintendo came up with 64-bit games
Oh,
rather
okay.
than 8-bit games.
Mm.
And you have to remember, like when this came out, we were still doing duck shooter games, which is 8-bit. So
Mm.
for the next 5 to 6 years, India was still stuck in the 8-bit unless until you could import stuff. It's not like India was behind games. It's just that India had so much more to work on, right? We were
Right.
busy with building India to become what it is right now, which is totally worth it. It's better than playing from India.
Remember these cassettes like 99 in one, 999 in one, and everything.
So these were not those 8-bit games. If you remember, these are like proper advanced, top of the range. So these things costed like $300 at
Mm.
that time, right? So that was a lot of
Mm.
money, right? Not everyone could put up that much
Wow.
cash for
This
these.
is a good game.
Yeah. So you could play Mario, you could play a lot of other games. I don't know. It's first time where like Mario could move in
Okay.
3D. So
Mm.
yeah.
Interesting. What else do you have?
And let's see what. Oh, that's it.
Okay.
End of slide. End of slide is black.
Uh,
Yeah.
nice. This was a good game for me. Yeah,
So I think that's
I did not know about many of these things,
yeah.
and I'm
It's very
happy to
interesting
know
to
all
see
of them.
that like this there's just so many black holes. Only if you like talk to someone,
Right,
you will not know
right.
someone lost some memory until you tell them, "Hey, what about this?" And they'll be like, "Oh, where was I?" And then you're like, "Oh." Yeah.
Not just that, like you said, India being its own timeline of technological improvements had to skip
Yeah.
some of these things in order to make
And it was
progress, right? Otherwise, what we would be stuck in Nintendo games, Nintendo game consoles, not even come to like Wii and all.
Yes.
Uh, yeah. Okay. I want to leave everybody with a last trivia question. One more. I have a lot more. What was one a feature of a computer peripheral that was invented by mistake?
Mouse. No. Keyboard.
Uh, yes, but no. Like what in mouse?
The trackpad, the ball thingy. No. Click. I'm just guessing.
Close. The scroll
The
wheel.
scroll wheel.
Uh,
Oh,
the scroll wheel was an accident. It was like a side project that was being like beta tested. They did not expect this to work, but it caught on. Like everybody liked it so much that they had to release it. And today, I guess we can't remember mouse without a scroll wheel. But I have seen and used my mouse that did not have a scroll wheel.
did not.
It had first I had only two buttons, then I had three buttons. I still don't know what middle button does, but not a scroll wheel. Scroll wheel was much later, but apparently it was an accidental invention.
Now we have scroll wheel. We have horizontal, vertical, diagonal.
Yes, we have multiple wheels in the same mouse, and I struggle using, like, I have two computers and I have different mouse for each of them, of course, and one has the horizontal scroll wheel and the other does not, and I find it difficult using the other
Yes.
one.
Actually, we
Yeah.
forgot to mention one thing is how there was not a universal serial bus for everything.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
how your computer had 100 different ports and each one port was for one thing. Like one mouse used to go to one, and then keyboard used to go to another. And now it's just USB, right? And C has made it like even more obsolete. But yeah,
All right. Final thoughts.
yeah, it's interesting how technology went from like this is massive boost after like the war and how computer was introduced so slowly to India, which now if you think about software programming and it's like a stereotypical, oh, you're Indian. It's interesting how we Indians we took computers starting for granted and then just our life depends on it. And it's when you only talk about it you'll realize all of this. But yeah. What do you think, Adi?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. The way we adapted and adopted computer science was really interesting, and it is becoming the lifeblood of India right now, right? There are all of the other things, but the penetration of computer science in all fields and industries has elevated all of them to the next
Yes,
level, I believe.
yes. It's made our life so
Uh,
much better and easier, and which is what it was designed to do. And it's living up
yeah,
to its
yeah,
name.
yes, yes. All right.
All right, guys.
See you in the
Stay
next.
tuned for the next, probably part two or the next episode, depending on our